Welcome to this week's Q&A. We've got a question that was sort of raised through some of the content in the recent posts that we showed to our viewers, and it's pretty interesting. It's a couple of questions sort of thrown into one, and I was talking about the rise of affluent buyers in Australian residential property markets, and they were dominating some of the sales because the rise in interest rates that we've seen hasn't really impacted those buyers to the same extent as a lot of other Australians who are forced to increase the size of their borrowings due to the fact that prices have increased substantially, and they're needing more, I suppose, total capital to make a purchase and don't have that themselves. So, the question is, how do you think that future interest rate changes might shift this balance? Well, hopefully it will improve things for a lot of Australian home buyers and property investors, because if we do see a decline in interest rates in central banks' official cash rate settings over the ensuing number of quarters, as the market is anticipating, then that should be able to ease that burden somewhat, in terms of servicing existing debts that borrowers have, that homeowners have, or property investors have, and also then potentially increase their ability to borrow more to secure future assets. And notwithstanding what's happening here, I also don't think that rents are going to come down in the same rate as perhaps interest rates might. I think rates are not quite, I don't think rents are quite as elastic as that. So I think, current property investors will probably do reasonably well out of that. And I think also importantly, let's not forget first home buyers who are really being crunched at the moment. And obviously they're going to potentially become better positioned to take advantage of what the market's offering. Now, the second part of the question was, how do you see the scenario impacting the opportunity for mid-range income earners in property investments? And similarly, I think those people are going to be benefiting from a decline in overall interest rates, because they're currently probably one of the worst demographics in the market. So a lot of these people might have large outstanding mortgages on their properties. They're not tax deductible, they're being very highly taxed, and they're not getting any deductions for the interest. So it continues to squeeze them in terms of how much is left for cost of living and how much is spare after that. And the answer is probably very little. So as interest rates come down, I think that's going to assist these people, and the fact that this sort of affluent group of people that have potentially a lot more capital at this disposal is already impacting the upper end of residential property markets, particularly in the capital city markets. I don't think that's going to be relevant to that other demographic, and I think they'll find opportunities in areas that this affluent group of buyers is potentially not targeting. So hopefully all things can run in parallel here, and there'll be some benefits going all around. We just have to keep an eye and see what the central banks do over the ensuing months. I'm Andrew Unterweger. If you like what you see, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you at next week's Q&A.